guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews, and today we are going to do a roundup, but not just any roundup. Like, a lot of our roundups are geared more towards like the best foldable treadmill, or the best treadmill for seniors, or the best treadmill with an incline. But this is a little different because we are doing a Soul-specific treadmill roundup. Now, there are 7 treadmills in the Soul series. We're going to go through all of them, talk about the benefits, the cons, what makes them different, what makes them the same, and more. But first, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you continue to see videos just like this one headed your way. We have a lot of content coming, so make sure to subscribe. Also, if you want to purchase any of these treadmills, go ahead and use the link below the like button to do so. It doesn't cost you anything extra when you use those links, but it does give us a small commission, and we greatly appreciate it when you do that. Lastly, some of the treadmills have been sent to us by the company, but that doesn't change what we are going to say about it. We just want to be honest and upfront and transparent about that fact. We're always going to tell you exactly what you think, whether that is good or bad. So let's get into it. So first, let's start off with their most basic treadmill. This is the Soul F63. I actually have this treadmill in my garage. I am quite fond of it. I think that it is a great treadmill for those looking to do a lot of walking, a lot of jogging, and some running. Now, do you think it's the best treadmill for running? No, and that is simply because of the fact that it only has a 3.0 HP motor. Now, a 3.0 HP motor is still a really decent motor, but if you are going to be doing a lot of volume training, a lot of speed training, anything that requires that motor to be working really hard, I mean, you're going to at least want a 3.5 HP motor. So I still think this is a great treadmill for those wanting to do a little bit of running, but if you're training for like the Boston Marathon, maybe don't look at this treadmill. Now, another thing this treadmill has is a 60 by 20 inch belt deck size. Industry standard says 55 inch belt deck size is what they expect. I would say that is true, but anybody with a longer stride knows that you're gonna want at least a 60 inch belt deck. One thing to call out about this treadmill is that there is no unsteadiness, there is no shakiness in the lower speeds. However, when you get up to about a 9 mile per hour mark and above, you do start to experience some unshakiness, some unsteadiness. So keep that in mind. If you are somebody who's running at that higher speeds for a long time, that is to be expected. In terms of features, this doesn't have a lot. It does have 12 miles per hour for speed. It does have a 15% incline grade, so really decent in that fact. It does have a backlit LCD screen that shows your basic metrics and your programs available. So you have things like your calories burned, your times, your distance, and in terms of programming, they have like a hills, a fat burner, your manual option, and more. And although it doesn't have a touchscreen, you are able to connect through Bluetooth and follow along with any sort of apps that you might want. So if you want to go ahead and purchase the studio programming that Soul offers, that's $19.99 a month, you can go ahead, just use it on your phone, place your phone on the display shelf and use it that way. Overall, I think this is a great treadmill for those looking, again, to do a lot of walking, a lot of jogging, and maybe a little running. Okay, so next on our list is the Soul F65. Now, when I was researching and testing these treadmills, I kind of became a little bit muddled because there are only a few differences between each treadmill. Now, obviously, when you compare the Soul F63 to their top-of-the-line model treadmill, you have a lot of differences. But really, between the F63 and the F65, there are just a couple key differences between the two. Two of the big differences between the two models of the F63 and the F65 is, one, the motor size. So the F65 actually has a 3.5 HP motor. So again, if you're somebody wanting to do a lot of running, that meets my mark for what a motor size needs to be. The other thing about the F65 is it actually has a bigger belt deck at 60 by 22 inches versus the 60 by 20 inches on the 63. So even though that 2 inches might not seem like a huge difference for those who have broader shoulders or who pump their arms a lot in fear of like hitting the handrails on the side, that extra 2 inches is really convenient. The overall cost of the F63 is $300 more, so not that much more. You're basically just paying for a bigger motor size and a slightly larger belt deck size. The F65 also has a backlit LCD screen. It is 7.5 inches, so a little bit larger than the F63. It also comes with the same sort of conveniences like easily accessible speed buttons to change your incline and your speed, as well as dual water bottle holders and fans. Now the F65 is slightly heavier at 12 more pounds than the F63. However, they both boast the same weight capacity at 325 pounds. Okay, so moving right along, next we're going to review the F80. Now, again, you might not see a ton of differences between the F80 and the F65, but now when we compare the F80 to the F63, we really start to see some key differences come into play. Now, one of the key differences between the F80 and the other two treadmills that I've mentioned is it has a touch screen. It also has screen mirroring functions. So basically that means that you can connect through Bluetooth, download an app to your phone, and then go ahead and play it on the treadmill. So whether that's Netflix or Hulu, or go ahead and purchase the studio programming that Soul has for $19.99 a month, you can go ahead and mirror that to the treadmill and follow along. So it's kind of like smart treadmill without actually having built-in programming within the treadmill. One thing that I do love about the F80 is it has a wireless charging station for your phone. And I think that is really smart because if you are using the screen mirror function, you're gonna run down your phone battery. It's really smart to have a wireless charging station to be able to use so that you never run out of battery as you are watching your favorite shows or following your favorite programming. In terms of things that are the same between the F80 and the F65, they both have a 15% incline grade, they both go up to 12 miles per hour, they both have 10 preset programs, and they both boast a 60 by 22 inch belt deck size. The motor size is the same at 3.5 HP motor, so again, you can do a lot of running with that motor size. It does have a higher weight capacity of 375 pounds, so really great, allows more people to be able to use it, and honestly, one of the higher weight capacities that I've seen on motorized treadmills, like across the board. Overall, at $1,900, I don't have a lot of negative things to say about this. Are there things that would make this easier, like actually having the program available to the treadmill versus like having to connect through Bluetooth? Sure, but overall, I mean, I think this is a great price point with a lot of cool features on this treadmill. Okay, so next is the Soul's F85. Now, since I've been here, I have tested a lot of treadmills here at GGR, and the Soul F85 is the first motorized treadmill that I have tested with a weight capacity of 400 pounds. So I think that is huge. Most of the time when I see a weight capacity of 400 pounds, it's more for manual treadmills. So the fact that a motorized treadmills has such a large weight capacity is really solid. You definitely start to see where Soul has beefed up this treadmill, especially when you compare it to where we started with the Soul F63. A couple things that the Soul F85 has is a 4.0 HP motor. So I mean, this is a massive motor. You don't have to worry about any components burning out, and you can do all of the running that you want because this motor can definitely hang. The other thing that it has is 25 preset programs. Now, this is the second to largest amount of programs that we see in the Soul series. So a vast amount of programs available with the F85. The other thing that it has is a 10-inch touchscreen. So this is the largest screen that we see available in the series so far. Now, obviously with these extra components like the larger touchscreen, the larger motor size, the price is going to reflect that. So this is the most expensive option that we've seen so far today at $2,400. However, if you don't want to just pay upfront for all of it at once, you can go to the website, sign up for Citizens Pay Bank, and have 0% APR financing for up to 12 months. Now, I have just said that I would choose a foldable treadmill, and while that is true, this next treadmill might be my favorite. It is the Soul TT8, and it is for one and one reason only. I am a decline girl, okay? I love when a treadmill has a decline, and the TT8 has a 6% decline, so of course I'm interested in this treadmill. Now, the TT8 and the F85 are the same price. I'm not exactly sure why, because they have a lot of the same features. However, the TT8 does have a decline option. I'm not exactly sure why they don't make that with the F85, but that's fine. They're both the same price, and I'm not going to argue with it. In terms of things that are basically the same as the F85, it has a weight capacity of 400 pounds. It has a 4.0 HP motor. It also goes up to speeds of 12 miles per hour. It also has a belt deck size of 60 by 22 inches. The difference comes in where we see the incline and decline. So the incline still remains the same at 15% incline grade. However, they have a 6% decline grade. If you are a runner, you know that sometimes, even if you love running, like, it gets boring. Like, let's just be honest. Like, running is not the most exciting thing at times. So the fact that they have a decline option just makes training a lot more interesting because you have a lot more variables you can throw in, a lot more options when it comes to training and workout programs. I love a decline option. Now, along with this treadmill, it also has 10 preset programs. You are, of course, able to connect through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to the studio programming. The one thing to keep in mind is that it does not fold up, so this is going to have to stay stationary. It doesn't take up a huge footprint, especially when you compare it to some of the other treadmills like the old model of the NordicTrack 1750. However, it is a big boy. You got to keep it stationary because it's not the most portable. Now, second to last of the ones that we are going to talk about today, and this is a non-foldable treadmill, but it does have a lot of the same components as the F80, and that is the S77. Now, keep in mind, it is not a foldable treadmill, but it does have a lot of the same features as the F80 treadmill. A couple of these same features are the belt deck size at 60 by 22 inches, as well as 10 preset programs, and the ability to connect through Bluetooth to any sort of studio programming. The cost for the S77 is $1,900, so again, very close to the F88. Now, the S77 has a 400-pound weight capacity as well as a 4.0 HP motor. Essentially, every other component between the two is the same. For me, I would personally choose the F80, and that is based on the fact that I don't need a 4.0 HP motor because I am not doing a crazy amount of running at high speed. And I like the foldable option that the F80 provides. But the S77 does have that higher motor size. So I'd actually be really curious. Let us know in the comments which one you would prefer. Would you rather have a bigger motor size or a foldable treadmill? Because again, they're basically the same treadmill across the board aside from those two facts. Okay, so last on our series of these sold treadmills is the ST90, and this is the most expensive option out of the sold treadmills we reviewed today. This treadmill costs $3,500, so definitely not on the cheaper end. But remember, you can always sign up for financing through Citizens Pay Bank. It's available on the website if you need more information on it. Now, this is the only slat belt treadmill in the Soul series, so a lot of the other treadmills have that 2-ply belt deck. This is a slat belt deck. Now, there are a couple of reasons why people would choose a slat belt deck. One, it's actually going to push you into more correct positioning while you are running. Two, it's supposed to reduce the impact to your joints even more than a 2-ply belt deck, even if it does have like a patented cushioning technology. Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of slat belt decks that are motorized. It's kind of like a hybrid between maybe an assault runner and then a motorized treadmill. Now, one thing that I kind of find funny, and I don't know why it's so low, is the motor size is only a 2.0 HP. So I'm not exactly sure why they haven't beefed up that motor size, but I do think it is necessary if you're going to have a slat belt deck design to have a larger motor size to support that. A couple other features about the ST90 is it does have 29 preset programs, so the most programming options available out of any of the treadmills that we've seen today. It also has a 10-inch touchscreen and a display shelf that you're able to put your phone, use Bluetooth, use Wi-Fi to connect to any sort of programming you want to watch. One thing to call out about this treadmill specifically, and I'm not sure why, but it doesn't have the same warranty compared to the other sold treadmills. So it definitely falls short, especially when you compare it to what Soul is offering with their other treadmills. As far as this treadmill goes, I like the ingenuity behind it. I think it's really interesting. Aesthetically, it's way more pleasing than any other slat belt design that I've seen out there, but for me, I probably wouldn't spend the money on it, but I would be curious if you would, and I'd love to know your reasoning. What makes this treadmill so appealing to those of you who have tried it or those of you who have purchased it? Let us know in the comments. This has been a long roundup. Thank you for staying with me. Let us know what you think in the comments about any of the questions that I asked, or just say hi. My name is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews, and we'll see you back here next time. Peace.